Let me paint you a picture. Someone in your life is upset. Maybe it's your partner, your best friend, your coworker. Doesn't matter. The point is, they're spiraling. And before they've even finished their sentence, something happens inside you. Almost automatically. You read the room. You soften your voice. You set aside whatever you were feeling 2 minutes ago, and you become the calm one, the steady one, the one who always knows what to say. And it works. They feel better. The tension dissolves. Crisis averted. And then later, maybe that night, maybe in the shower, maybe at 2 a.m. when you can't sleep, you feel it. This quiet, hollow exhaustion, like you've been carrying something heavy all day and only just noticed. Sound familiar? If it does, this video is for you. Here's the thing nobody talks about. Emotional intelligence, the ability to read people, regulate your own feelings, empathize deeply, communicate with care, is one of the most celebrated traits a person can have, and rightfully so. But there's a shadow side to it, a cost that doesn't show up in any personality test result or self-help book headline. When you're the emotionally intelligent one in your relationships, the one everyone leans on, the one who holds space, the one who never seems to lose it, you pay a price, a real one. Because here's the misconception I want to bust wide open. Emotional intelligence does not make you immune to emotional exhaustion. In fact, and this is the part that might sting a little, it can make you more vulnerable to it.
Let's start with the reframe. Emotional intelligence is typically described as a set of skills: self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, social skills, and motivation. And yes, those are genuinely powerful skills. But here's what that framing misses. Skills require energy. Every time you deploy them, you're drawing from a reservoir, and that reservoir is not infinite. Think of it like this. Imagine emotional intelligence is a kind of internal Wi-Fi router. You're constantly connected to the emotional signals of the people around you, to the undercurrents in conversations, to what someone isn't saying but clearly means. You're processing data all the time, even when you're not trying to. Now imagine that router is running 24/7, powering not just your own devices, but everyone else's too. That's what it's like to be the emotionally intelligent anchor in your relationships. You're not just managing your own emotional world, you're hosting everyone else's. When you empathize with someone, truly empathize, not just intellectually understand, but actually feel what they're feeling, your brain activates something called mirror neurons. These are neural circuits that simulate other people's emotional states inside your own nervous system. It's why you wince when someone else stubs their toe. It's why you tear up at a movie, even though you know it's fiction. For people with high emotional intelligence, this mirroring system is exquisitely sensitive. You don't just notice that someone is sad. You absorb some of that sadness. Your body registers it. Your nervous system responds to it. Researchers call the chronic activation of this system empathic distress, and it's distinct from empathy itself. Empathy is the ability to feel with someone. Empathic distress is what happens when that feeling gets lodged in you, when you've absorbed more than you had the space to process. So what does this actually look like in real life? Your own needs become invisible, even to you. When you're always the one asking, "How are you?" always the one noticing tension, always the one steering conversations toward resolution, you get very good at focusing outward. So good, in fact, that you can lose track of what's happening inside you. You might not realize you're angry until you're exhausted. You might not realize you're lonely until you're numb. People stop asking if you're okay. Because you handle things so gracefully, people assume you're fine. You've taught them, unintentionally, that you don't need checking on. You've become so reliable as a support system that your own vulnerability becomes inconceivable to the people around you. Relationships become structurally unequal. You're the one who remembers to follow up. You're the one who softens conflict. You're the one who notices when something feels off. And because you do it so naturally, it doesn't look like work, but it is work. It's just invisible work, and invisible work still costs you. And then resentment moves in slowly, without announcing itself. Not because you don't love these people, but because love without reciprocity is its own kind of loneliness. Okay, so now that we've named the costs, let's talk about what to do. Because the answer is not to become less empathetic. The goal is to become more sustainable. Before you tune in to someone else's emotional frequency, take 30 seconds to tune into your own. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? What do I need right now? Not what you should feel, what's actually there. Do this before big conversations, before you pick up the phone to a friend in crisis. 3 breaths and 3 honest questions. It's a tiny ritual with a significant protective effect. For chronic patterns in relationships, try naming what's happening without blame. Something like, I've noticed I'm usually the one who brings up hard stuff between us. I want to change that, not because I don't care, but because I need this to feel more mutual. This is vulnerable. It might feel uncomfortable, but relationships cannot grow past the conversations we're too afraid to have. You're allowed to not be available all the time. You can love someone deeply and still say, I'm not in a place to hold space for this right now. Can we talk tomorrow? That's not abandonment. That's boundaries. And boundaries are not walls that keep people out. They're structures that make connections sustainable. And ask yourself honestly, who holds space for you? Who do you call when you're the one falling apart? If the answer is no one, that's crucial information. You need at least one relationship or a professional space like therapy where you get to be the one who doesn't have answers. A few important notes. If you have a history of trauma, particularly childhood experiences where you had to emotionally caretake a parent, this pattern can run exceptionally deep. The compulsive need to manage others' emotions before your own isn't a character trait in those cases. It's a survival strategy that got baked in early. Please be gentle with yourself about it.
And if you're a highly sensitive person, or living with ADHD or anxiety, your nervous system may be processing other people's emotions with even more intensity. The drain is not in your head, it is physiological. Knowing your limits is not weakness, it's wisdom. Here's something I want you to sit with. The fact that you care so deeply, the fact that you show up for people, that you feel their pain, that you've built this capacity for emotional attunement, that is not a flaw. It is extraordinary. But you are not a resource. You are a person. And being a person means your feelings are as important as the feelings of everyone you've ever helped. You don't have to earn your rest. You don't have to justify your needs by first proving how much you've given. You are allowed to receive the same quality of care that you so freely give. Say that to yourself slowly if you need to. So let's bring it all together. Being the emotionally intelligent one carries real costs that often go unnamed. Empathic distress, invisible emotional labor, the erosion of your own self-awareness, and quiet resentment are not signs that something is wrong with you. They're signs that you've been giving without a sustainable system of replenishment. The path forward isn't to care less. It's to build structures that honor your capacity. Regular self-check-ins, honest conversations about reciprocity, emotional boundaries that protect rather than isolate, and at least one space in your life where you get to be the one who's held. Your emotional intelligence is one of your greatest strengths. It just needs a support system too.